Howdy everyone, it's me once again, the one and only Killer Dan. And I still want to continue my Halloween-a-thon. But the thing is folks, I will have to say this. This will be my last review for my Halloween-a-thon, folks. Yeah, you heard me right, folks, and don't feel too bad, folks. I know it seems rather sad, and I did have a lot of fun during my Halloween-a-thon, folks. But I'm gonna make this be a special video for you, because it has something to do with Disney. Yep, something to do with Disney, alright, for this particular video. And yes, I know some people might be thinking, what does Disney have to do with Halloween? It seems so out of place. Yes, I know it does, folks. It does seem out of place, folks. But just hear me out. I'm gonna do something in the lines of that one new TV series, or specifically an episode titled A Day to Remember. So it's pretty much centering around the idea of a Day to Dead, which is pretty much a Mexican holiday, so to speak, and it did premiere in this month. So I figured, hey, it's close enough, right? And they did premiere in this month. So I figured I would do this, folks. And I do want to do another Disney movie marathon as soon as I can, and I figured I would do this as an opener, so to speak. Of course, as usual, I do have to talk about the plot of this particular episode, so let's begin, shall we? Oh yeah. And of course, it does have something to do with our main character's little sister, and yeah, that's the thing, folks. I do have to say that our main character does have something to do important in the overall plot of this particular episode. Speaking of the 9th episode of the Disney animated series, so yeah, it pretty much centers around the kingdom of where our main character lives at, and it's pretty much celebrating the Day of Remembrance, the Day of Dead more specifically. Yeah, it's the day where the families honor their loved family members who had unfortunately passed away. Our lead character in this particular show is excited and is all set up, but the thing is, not everybody seems to be ready for the particular thing. And let's just say that her younger sister, who also plays a major character in the series as well, yeah, she needs a costume for this particular place, folks, and our main character in this show does want to help out. But the younger sister does state that her costume is ripped and urges the others to go on to the graveyard without her. At the graveyard, the royal family of this particular place is setting up their altar, where they do discover that. I figured I would do a video for this particular show, mainly, folks, since I did mention this show a while back. Okay, not that while back. I did mention it in my last Disney-a-thon. And for a lot of people, this episode came out very special for a lot of reasons. So, yeah, the thing is, this storyline was actually based upon an actual day that does exist. Because the thing is, folks, Day of the Dead is a Mexican holiday that's celebrated throughout Mexico in a particular manner, of course. The central and south regions by people of the Mexican ancestry living in other places, especially in the United States. It is acknowledged as an international kind of thing in many other cultures as well. The multi-day holiday does focus on family gatherings of family and friends to pray and remember friends and of course family members who have died, and of course help their sport of their spiritual journey, into the other realm, so to speak. So yeah, of course, food will be brought, of course. Food will be made, handmade, not store-bought. They have to be, of course, homemade style kind of food, which of course does make sense. And so yeah, I do think that's pretty neat. This kind of thing will be brought up over here, folks. And yes, the thing is, the parents of the main character are brought up as well, which I do think is actually an interesting thing there. So yeah, her parents are brought up in here, which does give the character a sense of three-dimensional kind of thing. There's quite a bit of stuff that I did like about this episode, and that's one of the things. her parents being brought up. So that does make sense because it does leave you to wonder what had occurred with the family, so to speak. So it does make sense that she would pay tribute to her parents in some sort of fashion in one way or another. So that makes perfect sense right there, folks. Having the characters go to a graveyard is a nice touch. And it does fit the mood of what I'm trying to do here, folks. Yeah, it's very touching in a lot of ways of what they want to do, folks. Yes, it's a good thing they want to center a story around honoring somebody's family and still moving forward at the same time. Not dread too much in the past or what could have done or should have been done in that cases. But anyway, folks, there's nothing wrong with the way it was done. I have to say that I did like the animation here, folks. I really do like the animation. It's really top notch right here, folks. Especially considering the fact that this is an animated series that is on the Disney Channel, which quite honestly I tend to avoid like the plague. So thankfully I made an exception here, folks. There's lots of TV shows I don't care for on this channel, just like case in point, this for an example. Oh boy. Talk about some mindless entertainment. Oh boy. Oh well, they all can be winners, can they? Thankfully, this is one of the better shows, one of the better programmings, and this was a pretty good episode, folks. All around, really enjoyable. And like I said before, folks, I'm going to use this as a way to end my Halloween-a-thon. And yes, I know, it's sad to have it end, but I could always make a return later, of course, folks. But still, it's kind of sad because I had a lot of fun doing it. You can't say that our main character here, folks, is a strong princess, and even though she does make some mistakes along the way, she does lead in with her heart, and she always gets the right answer eventually in one way or another. So I would say that this was worth watching, folks. Definitely. This was a pretty fantastic episode overall, folks, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. The dialogue was pretty good, and the music itself was actually not that bad. Yeah, at first I was expecting it to be rather cheesy, but thankfully it really wasn't. It suited the mood in which the TV show was aiming for. So yeah, it was a really good episode. And yes, there is a laundry list of things I would like to bring up about this episode, but I don't want to spoil it for those who have not seen it as of yet. So yeah, folks, this episode, it gets an overall rating of a 7.9 out of 10. It gets a 7.9 out of 10 from me. And yes, of course, as always, thank you very much for watching, and take care. See ya. Oh yeah.